I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for Life in UK test part 356. Looking after the environment while doing ground yoga. And if you participate in the ground yoga, better sit here always. Looking after the environment. It is important to recycle as much of, it's not nice expressed, as much of your waste as you can. Using recycled materials to make new products uses less energy and means that we do not need to extract more raw materials from the earth. It also means that less rubbish is created, so the amount being put into landfill is reduced. And that book 2025 is also just reduced from an older. It is important, and I don't mean the new print, I mean what's written in the inside. It is important to recycle as much of your waste as you can. Using recycled materials to make new products uses less energy and means that we do not need to extract more raw materials from the earth. More than necessary. We still need to extract more materials, and most recycled materials are not completely out of recycled. They oftentimes have new than included, but it's not the full amount which is needed, it's less. I'm not gonna say any things which I believe to be wrong or not fully. That's why I'm adding here a few things. It is important to recycle as much of your waste as you can. So try to recycle as much as you can, I told you. And using recycled materials to make new products uses less energy and means that we do not need to extract more raw materials from the earth. We are still extracting massive amounts of raw materials, even if we would recycle. We're still doing it. We have to use the first part of a sentence, less to extract. So if we recycle materials, then it needs less energy to make the new products because we have it better already there. And it means that we don't have to extract more raw materials. That means if we can use what we had of gold in a phone, we don't have to dig again for gold. Because that can be completely reused. We don't have to extract so many raw materials from the earth. And I think it's also cheaper. It also means that less rubbish is created, so the amount being put into landfill is reduced. So instead of taking all the rubbish and putting it somewhere, we can recycle it, we can use it again. It's cheaper, uses less energy, and we don't have to produce completely new plastic. We can take a good amount from the last ones. I don't want to smaller anything here written. It's just, if I know that it's not true, I'm not going to repeat it this way. You can learn more about recycling and its benefits at www.recyclenow.com. At this website you can also find out what you can recycle at home and in the local area if you live in England. For whom is that written? England, okay, I mean Northern Ireland. Or Scotland, or Wales. This information is available for Wales at www.wasteawarenesswales.org.uk. It's not a web address a name people will like. You want friends for not just your movement, the movement for all of us, but for Scotland at www.zerowastescotland.org.uk, and for Northern Ireland from your local authority. So if people want more information about how they can produce less waste and the waste we already started, how we can then maybe recycle it. So the next time they're doing a waste, it's partly already from last time, something taken from that. That can be done at recyclenow.com, wasteawarenesswales.org.uk. It's also not nice to write it in that way, wasteawarenesswales.org.uk. Zerowastescotland.org.uk. But it's okay. Zerowastescotland.org.uk. Where people can try to find how they're doing a little bit less waste. A good way to support your local community is to shop for products locally where you can. This will help businesses and farmers in your area and in Britain. It will also reduce your carbon footprint because the products you buy will not have had to travel as far. So a good way to support your local community is to shop for products locally where you can, is what we're telling here. I'm not telling here more to it, because that is something which is true as it's written here. It's just more to it. There can be exceptions, that's it all. But it's true what's written here. And written here is, a good way to support your local community is to shop for products locally where you can. So it can be a way to reduce the carbon footprint or to support local communities, but in any case, if you buy at local shops or from local products. This will help businesses and farmers in your area and in Britain. So if you buy from a farmer just a few miles away, that will support a farmer in your vicinity from your country. And it will also reduce your carbon footprint because the products you buy will not have had to travel as far. Now, if you take the ones just from the field over there, then they hadn't traveled that far. If they were actually manufactured from the field over there to here, not driven somewhere else to be manufactured there. And so there's a lot to say about this, and not everything grows in England. And so that's basically, I want to give a little insight into what maybe the exceptions would be. So it's not something big, but it's just not everything grows in England. And some things are growing better somewhere else than in England, and maybe to make the agriculture in England for it costs way more than just to take it from somewhere else, if the conditions in England are not fit for it. But you just can't say that that there are foods which are growing very good in England, and they are then better to get them directly from England. That's all. So nothing big, it's right what is in here. Just there's oftentimes more to it. Walking and using public transport to get around when you can is also a good way to, because that is 15 years old, and now we're knowing a bit more, and that is not the end. But that had not saved the world, and it will not save the world. We need to do more. And if they're saying that will save the world, people will get disappointed if it doesn't happen. And if it does not save the world, we need to know what will save the world. So, walking and using public transport to get around when you can is also a good way to protect the environment. It means that you create less pollution than when you use a car. Here they had told us both times an explanation why it is better. The first time, because if you take it just from the field over there, it just has to travel from the field to you, or to the 10 manufacturing processes in between. But that depends on every farmer. That's everything differently. And the other thing, if you use public transport and not your own car, that uses less pollution, because on a bus 50 people, the bus makes more pollution than a car, but there can be, and there are oftentimes more than 10, 20, 30, 40 people in it. And that in total together makes way less pollution. So that walking or using a public transport is way better than using a car. In most cases, if you're the only passenger in a bus, that's not better. But most of the times you are not the only one. So that's all. That's all right here. Just not the full picture. That's not enough. Let's just say it like that. Walk and use public transport. That's the end of looking after the environment. In the next part, we will check to understand if you understand everything to the last 2-3 chapters with these checkpoints. If you were just here for looking after the environment, and you only want to be back to checking if you understand everything about the environment and how to help the country, then you can go directly to the next part. Otherwise, we will do now ground yoga. If you participate in the ground yoga, that is at your own risk. We're sitting tall up and we're breathing in. And out, we're leaning back. We're doing seated cat and cow. That is the cat. Breathe again in into the middle. And out in front and out the chest and sky. And again in into the middle. And out with leaning back. And again in into the middle. And out in front and out the chest. And again in into the middle. And last round. And out and lean back. And again in into the middle. And out in front. And in. Now we're doing circles. We're going in front, we're opening the chest. And we're going back, we're making a round back, we're hollowing our back. And we're going again in front, we're breathing in. And we're breathing out. And again in. And out. Lower down, breathe in. Now we're changing the direction of a circle, we're breathing in. And out we go. And again in. And out. And again in. And out. And the last round, breathe in. And out back. And breathe in into the middle. And we're leaving the seated position. And we're going to the tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders. Legs underneath the hips. We're putting one hand into the middle. And we're bringing one arm through. Really lying onto the shoulder. Now breathe in and out and stretch one arm up. And breathe in and out, bring the other front. In and bring the arm up. And out, down. And we're coming up again. Onto the other side. One hand into the middle. And we bring one arm through. And we're lying down on our shoulder. Now breathe in and out and breathe again. And out and stretch it right up. And breathe in. Out and bring it front. And breathe in, lift it up. And out and down. And now to the downward facing dog. And going up. And we're stretching down. Try to make a straight back. And now we're bending the right knee and stretching just the left leg. We're breathing in and changing. And out, down, stretch the right leg. Again in. And out and stretch the left leg. And in and stretch the right leg. And again to the middle. Now we're doing the stretching dog. We're breathing in. And out, we're coming high up onto tiptoes, making a straight back. And breathe in and down into normal, downward facing dog. Now walk in. And we're doing the marmot. Bend the right leg and stretch on the left leg. Breathe in and change. And out. And in and out and stretch the left leg. Again in and out, stretch the right leg. Breathe in, both legs straight and out. Then breathe in and out the right leg to the sky. Bend the left knee and look over the right shoulder to the right hand, the penguin. Breathing in with the arm again back, out and down. Breathe in, up the left arm to the sky. Breathe out, bend the right knee, look over the left shoulder to the left hand. Again, in and the arm down, and down. Make a little space between the toes. Breathe in, and shift the weight to the heels. Now breathe in and sink down, Upelika. And again, out and up. Again, in and down. And out and up. Last time down, out, in. And out and up. Take hold onto the elbows and swing from side to side. Trebuchet's counterweight. And we're going down with the hands again. We're walking in front, so downward facing dog. We're going onto our knees and into child's pose. And this is the end. I thank you very much. And until next time.